human beings. You know what the fuck it is. So y'all, like, I'm telling y'all, I be shaking up shit, right? It just came out the little movie theater, right? It was like a god that was in there that was in the setup, and it was a goddess that was in there. I told you I came to fuck up the frequency around all the bullshit. No matter, regardless of anything, my mental health issues, my financial state. I'm not playing about this shit. I'm making everybody aware of the bullshit that's going on amongst anybody that's trying to stop me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. So, literally, I was in there. Y'all know we under like lockdown. Y'all know everything. Y'all notice people didn't become more desensitized. They just started being more desensitized with you, and you copy the behavior. You hear what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know? For real, for real. And what I mean by that is a perfect example. If you was to ask most people, hold up real quick. Let me see if that's the joint that goes in. See if he's going to Vienna. Are you going to Vienna? I appreciate you waiting for me, bro. Seriously, so I appreciate it. God, thank you. So as I'm telling y'all, all right. So I'm about to break this down to y'all. So it was a goddess that was in there. And no, it was a god. It was a god first that was like taking people's tickets or whatever movie you want to watch, right? And when I seen him, and remember, I'm telling y'all, people are not desensitized. People just taking on the ways of how they're being told to go about because they're in fear. And they think that a lot of people that are telling them how to go about stuff, that they actually want the best for them, and they don't. It's the total opposite. You know, it's just more control, and they have you doing exactly what they want you to do for a whole nother way of life to come about, whatever deception that would be at whatever time, and implemented laws, etc. You know what I mean? However that comes to you as far as how to be felt, right? So like, look, Pete. So I go in there. The God, I already know how it is, but I be giving people a benefit of the doubt to see if they're gonna go about stuff differently, right? So literally, I say to him, you know, I'm just trying to use the restroom, because I was just trying to use the restroom real quick, right? And then he's like, it's like I already know what it is. I know the control and greed, and how like when the rope is already yanked, how they keep, you know what I mean, having it tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Shout out to everybody that's coming in here. You know what I'm saying? It gets tighter and tighter and tighter, right? So like literally, I'm like, damn. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to use the restroom. You know, every once in a while, even us in them positions, you know, the real black side will come out, or not even the real black side, the real reality. Besides the control that's infringed on everybody, you know, we'll push that aside and be like, bro, use the restroom. You know what I mean? It's not that serious, right? But then they can get fired too for them not going along. So they're gonna love their job over the reality of how stuff should be, just complying for the money. Because once your money is affected, we don't want that, right? We want to be in control. We want you to move exactly how we want you to move. So literally, he's like, yeah, man, you're not getting the movie. You can't use the restroom. Da da da. I'm just like, all right. I'm like, that's all cool. You know, like I told you, I'm already aware beforehand before I asked him. I want to see if he could go about it differently. But because I gave him the chance to, and he answered wrongly, I had to put everybody in place in there from a divinity standpoint, and remind them who they are and what's happening on the planet. And y'all should have seen the looks on their faces. And I respected the goddess. Right after I respected the goddess, she was so in shock because she didn't realize that I was as smart as I am when she was talking to me. She didn't realize that shit, you know. But when I opened my mouth, she realized that, and then she was like, you're also a reflection. You know what I'm saying? She was stuck even when she put her like you see, they was stuck, y'all. That just happened just now, you know. Shout out Tasha. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. I can't even pronounce that name. Shout out y'all. But yeah, like, it's serious, y'all. So So in my mind state, I'm saying to myself like, oh nah, oh nah. And then another thing also, y'all gotta realize, matter of fact, from now on, any slave catchers that are where I'm gonna be at, and even more so if it's like multiple places and y'all leave when I leave, I'm gonna get y'all on my podcast. And I'm like, I should have, even when I left that other parking lot, I should have got the pig that was there, came in when I was there, and then left when I left. Because I'm being followed. I already know. But it's like, it is what it is, you know? You say, why monkey not in the zoo? Right. That's a good question, bro. I see a lot of Europeans out here. That's a good question. I see a lot of Europeans out here, you know, I see a lot of Asians out here. I see a lot of people that's unnatural with animal DNA. You're right. Why aren't the monkeys in the zoo? Right. That's a good question. That's a real good question. That's a real good question. Matter of fact, can I pin that? Can I pin it? Yeah, I'll find out how to pin it. Hey, that's gonna be, hey, this is the conversation. Shout out Curtable. Why aren't monkeys, why are monkeys not in the zoo? Right? Why is anybody out here with animal DNA not realizing that they share the DNA literally from the monkey alone? Why is it that Europeans have the same type of lips as monkeys and the same hair follicles? Why is their skin pink? Why is the base of their DNA nitrogen and sulfur? These are questions that I need answers to. Why is it nothing in nature that can describe the complex cell organism's existence alone? I need answers. Help me out. Help me out. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know? Because all I see is my son exposing a lot of bullshit, and it's making a lot of people uncomfortable. Hey, shout out Mr. Hey, I apologize if I say your name wrong. But Mr. MBV3333, shout out him, right? Because even he be talking about it, that the energy that be hitting the planet and how it's affecting sleeping patterns and all of that, right? But it's funny because I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday, it might have been yesterday, and he got on there. Yeah, it was yesterday. He got on there. He was saying the enormous amount of messages that he got about people's sleeping patterns and how it's affected. Why do you think that's happening? I'm telling y'all got a smig left to abuse me. A smig left, like for real. You know? For real. Hey, shout out Biker Block. You know? Right now, I'm gonna be honest, like unnatural people, I'm only saying this in that way because he said that comment. But I have no hatred towards y'all. Even if y'all call me a monkey, I'm not mad at you for thinking I'm a monkey because you don't know that I don't have DNA from that. I'm not mad at you. It's cool. It's cool. You know. But the real reality is this though. You shouldn't be mad at what makes you up anatomically because you can't control that. You are what you are at the end of the day. That should be questions that everybody should be saying to themselves. Whether you got animal DNA, whether you're a complex cell organism or you organic, you got to ask yourself these questions. You know, you got to ask yourself these questions. You know, but yeah, like I was saying though, y'all, light code lockdown, right? So like literally, I'm gonna start getting them all on video as like they leave. To start seeing more of my life as my channel is building around all the abuse that I deal with, you know, because I'm not as big as a lot of other homeless people that's on the internet or anything, you know. I don't get the praise, but a lot of them aren't talking about what what I'm talking about either. So I know that that's why that is like that. But yeah, y'all, like it's man, it's a beautiful time, y'all. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. You know, but it's one thing I do say to people though, all mothers of all life, stop lying to our children. You know how you got different forms of lies, right? You got a lie if somebody asks you to tell the truth, and then you can tell the truth or not. But it's also a lie if it's something that you know that you're supposed to make somebody aware of, especially even more so in which they could be manipulated around. You should let them know that that's still a lie, right? That's still a lie. So all mothers of all life, right? This is what I want you to do right now. Stop lying to that 5-year-old, that 6-year-old, that organic being. Stop lying to them. Let them know how detrimental the system is. Let them know if they're struggling financially, they're not even going to be allowed to be clean, or they're going to have to take routes to still be clean. Basically, what I'm saying, just because they're struggling financially, they're not going to be able to clean up and wash their ass. They're going to have to take detrimental ways to be clean, just because they're struggling financially. Let your kids know that if they're struggling financially, that's connected to them being clean. Let them know that. Let them know because we make it seem like it's just connected to shelter. Like you got to have a spot so you're not homeless. No, that shit is connected to you even showering. That shit is connected to you even eating. That shit is genocidal as fuck. Tell the truth to our children. Don't try to tell them and make it seem like it's sweet and all that's not around money and abuse around it, and then they come up short when they're still trying, and then they get hit with these things and not knowing where the fuck it come from. Don't put them in that level. Don't do that. You know, tell them the truth. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm cleaner than like a bunch of y'all niggas. My hygiene is so good, but my hygiene is so affected just because I'm struggling financially. You know, which it shouldn't be, but that's abuse though, y'all. That's genocide. You got to realize what we live in. That's why the sun is separating us now. You know. And I love my Latino people, but even Latino people are eumelanated. They're not neuromelanated. They're not the sun in the flesh, right? People that's eumelanated, y'all have some animal DNA. That's why a lot of Latino people have hair follicles like a white person, because y'all been spliced. Y'all just the better version of it, right? But even still, no Latino person is neuromelanated. You know, nobody, the so-called African American people on this planet and African people on this planet, I'm the sun in the fucking flesh. You better know it. I'm the sun in the flesh, and I stand on that shit powerful because I am the sun. You know, I'm the sun in the flesh. I emit the highest frequency that sun can emit, and I absorb it also. I absorb it all. Oh, I ain't even know. I'm about to end this live. I ain't even know. I thought my phone died already, but I'm about to end it right now because people need to see this live. So I'm gonna get at y'all.